Greetings, Devans. There was a question about books. On and often, I've seen people asking this question about books. Should we read books or should we not? Because if we read, then people say that this is only gyan and knowledge and it won't lead you anywhere. You got to do more higher things than that. And books can confuse you. Or some say books are somebody else's knowledge or the writer's knowledge. And we have also heard great masters saying, you be the book and you be the reader. So with all this, and still there is so much of spiritual books in the market. And so much of books which even real good spiritual seekers read. And then there are higher books like the scriptures, like the Vedas, Upanishads and all. So if it is untrue, why was it written? Because there are mystics who say that, reading the Vedas also will not grant you self-realization. You got to practice. It's true. Then what is the purpose of these scriptures and books and so many things? So what should we do? Should we read or should we not read? To do or not to do? Let me put it very practically. No gyan or mahagyan in this. No confusions also. It's just like asking, should I eat veg or non-veg? Should I not eat non-veg because I'm on the spiritual journey? Because people say so and so. So should I avoid it? Or can I eat? Same thing. That's food and this is books, knowledge. That is food for your stomach. This is food for your self. Books. It all depends on, dear ones, what you want. Being on the path, if you feel that non-veg is really not going to help you, better not have it. Or if you feel that you can have non-veg and still excel in the spiritual world, many like masters like Jesus Christ or Swami Vivekananda, Swami or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, they were all non-veg eaters. They excelled, par excellence. Just to tell you, food is not the factor to decide whether you are going to go somewhere or not going to go somewhere. You are the person who is going to decide. If you have a decision, if you have a will that you are going to do it, then you do this or that, it doesn't matter. Many things are there in the spiritual world which is always in doubts and always in question mark, and people are confused and stopping at this journey only pondering, should I do or should I not? To do or not? Should I marry or should I not? Some say if you marry this will happen, some say if you don't marry this will happen. What should I do? This is all the Koi Purana, because as many people are there, as many paths are there, as many systems are there, as many whatever structures are there, those many beliefs are there. As simple as that. You watch very carefully and see, every system has a belief. Every system has a conditioning. Every system has a do and don't. And they all are on the path. They are all moving towards ascension. Nobody is not moving. And there are people moving with it. And all are leading to the highest goals. Because if you see in all these structures, there have been historical people who have achieved that kind of a status, who have achieved the highest goals, which means that all the structures are working, as simple as that, common sense. So if it is working and this system does it, that system does not do it, but still there are people who have succeeded in that. What does this show us, dear ones? Very crystal clear. Everything works and everything does not work, depending on how your frame of mind is, how your acceptance and how your perspective to it is. You're seeing it, it's all your perspective. So whether to eat veg, non-veg or not to eat, whether to marry or not to marry, whether to put a rudraksha around your neck or put a rosary around your neck, or don't put anything. Do I need to tie a kerchief on my head or not do that, or put a crucifix around my neck. It all depends. All these should always be treated as support systems, I'm telling you. These are all support systems. Even if you eat non-veg, it is a support system to your body. If you want to maintain a certain kind, whatever, if their belief is that you are going to maintain it in this way, okay, so be it. It's fine. But if it is causing hindrance to you, then you got to check it out. Same way, the books. Books are also meant to be in that way. If it is serving your purpose, then books are not good. They are excellent source for your wisdom. If they are keeping you stuck, if they are making you more confused, more doubtful, more scared, more worried, then books are not for you. Simple as that. More than to do this or to do that, what I would suggest is work more on your buddhi, the intellect, which is the power of discrimination, the viveka. Buddhi gives the power of discrimination. It can discriminate between should I or should I not. Should I will be on if that thing is real and if it is supposed to give you enhancement. Should I not means it is unreal, it is false, it is not going to help you in any way. The buddhi does that. The intellect is the one who is always choosing between right and wrong, between good and bad, between this and that. So if your buddhi is powerful, you don't need a koi Puran. You don't need reviews of people. You don't need to ask people. You don't need to even listen to people. Or people dictate unto you what to do and what not to do. People dictate over you and tell you what you should be doing. In the journey or not in the journey. Whatever. They do it only when your buddhi is weak. Because you cannot choose. Somebody else chooses it for you. Because you do not know. You are scared. You are doubtful. Should I eat or not eat meat? Somebody else chooses it for you with a bunch of rules and regulation. Maybe with a structure of fear and greed. If you do this, if you eat this, this is going to happen. You're going to hell. If you don't eat it, heaven is waiting for you. Greed. So somebody is standing there out already with fear and greed, waiting for vulnerable people who do not have enough buddhi, clarified buddhi, clear buddhi, discriminate. And then they offer solutions, free upaya. This is called free solutions. If you have observed, I have a lot of question answer sessions, I have a lot of these interactive sessions, but when people ask questions, what do? I always speak about awareness, rising into awareness and seeing things from a point of higher awareness. What is higher awareness? It is at the point of the buddhi. A purified buddhi increases the power of discrimination. How does this increase the power of discrimination? When your awareness is always heightened, when you practice awareness again and again, because in a heightened state of awareness, your buddhi is activated. You are functioning from your buddhi and not your mana. Not from your mind, but you are functioning from your intellect. For that, you got to raise your consciousness. How are you going to raise your consciousness? Simply by shifting into awareness. You shift into awareness, you have shifted from the mind zone to the intellect zone. When you are in that zone, the mind has become still. Till now what happens is, if the mind is active, then the mind chooses for you. It is the mind that chooses, should I go for this or go for that? And what will the mind do? Mind will give you input, data input from your past experiences and through all the wisdom that you have about that subject. Let's say about books. So whatever you have heard and learned from your childhood about books, these are deep patterns within you, conditions within you. These structures are already within you. So when your mind puts a question, should I or should I not? These things come up and your experiences will present it. And if your experiences has been bad with books, like somebody in your family has been scolding you, don't read books. That belief, that will become very strong belief. That will come up first and say, no, don't, book is not good. Let's say you have had good experiences with books and you are a bookworm all your life. So you have good experiences with those. So when somebody questions or you question yourself, then immediately this answer, yeah, you'll jump for it. Why not? So when the mind is selecting or choosing, it comes from these factors, and it comes from factors from external factors also. These are internal factors of your own experiences, of your own beliefs, of your own conditionings, of your own knowledge, whatever you have from your subconscious. It comes up and presents, and it can be hodgepodge. So there can be 3-4 different things, experiences also, which might be in conflict. So this will come to the mind, and your mind will be in conflict. As if that is not enough, then the external experiences that you got, or the external voices, external people telling you, oh, this is good for you, you should do this. This is not good for you, you should not do that. You have these voices. You have your seniors, you have your superiors, you have your parents, you have your elders in the family, you have all the knowledgeable teachers, the society at large, your friends, family, everybody telling you so many voices are there. All that echoes when it comes to a particular question about a certain subject. So that influence is there, the external. Then your eyes have seen something on the TV, and that has provided some source of information. Oh, books are good or bad, you don't know. Something you have heard from there or seen from there. And then you have read some reviews. Oh, this book is horrible. Oh, this book is excellent. Or you might be having go to Amazon and you'll have conflicting both. Some are saying good, some are saying bad. Now, what is happening? Watch here. When you go to Amazon and you see the reviews and they are confusing, you are confused. So somebody is speaking this also, somebody is speaking that also. This is how the whole world functions, duality. This also is there, that also is there. You'll always have two sides. Always. You'll never have one thing particularly that somebody is speaking. Only good or only bad. You'll have both. And when you put your mind to work on these things, this is the confusion that will happen, because the mind has no faculty of decision making. Remember, what makes the decision is your intellect. Your intellect is above the mind. When this hodgepodge is going, the intellect tries to figure out and judge things and make a decision and decide, yes, I should be doing or I should not be doing. Intellect works on that. Now, if your intellect is poor, it's not developed, then this will remain very suppressed. Your mind will start playing all this, because mind has a lot of experiences and mind is very active, super active, and the intellect is dull. This is what the Chidakasha Gita says. The intellect should be on top, mind should be down. Mind should be the slave. But otherwise in our lives, what happens is the mind is playing the game. And the mind is always choosing for us. That is why we have doubts, we have fears, we have confusions. What to do, what not to do. In choosing is the biggest faculty given to human being. Without choosing, you cannot live. Every moment you are deciding something or the other. So this shows how important your intellect should be there. And now when you are confused with so many opinions, questions arise, doubts arise. And these doubts are what you present to me here. Should I or should not? What is this? What is that? This is happening, that is happening. What should we do? This is because you have not developed yourself to raise yourself or shift into awareness and train your intellect to see what is from higher intellect and higher awareness, and let the intellect decide. Let it practice and take decisions properly in awareness. Because when you are in awareness, the mind gets suspended. Mind becomes dysfunctional. Mind thoughts might come, but it is dysfunctional. It is like it's chained, because the intellect has now risen up. It's dominating. It's watching fire. So the mind becomes dull now. Mind becomes tame. And this is the king now. This is what Chidakasha Gita explains very beautifully. These all concepts, what I am talking about, awareness, higher awareness, all this, are linked very deeply to the Chidakasha Gita, what I am trying to tell. I talk in very plain language otherwise, but in depth it is coming from these sources. And Chidakasha Gita is nothing but coming from the source of Upanishads and Vedas. घुमा फिरा के वही बात कर रहे हैं हम लोग यहाँ पे. But I am talking in a different fashion, in a fashion that people understand. So the awareness is a concept. It's just a concept that I've taken and I've focused on it. But the whole thing, the whole structure is in this. And these are the same things that you will find it in Bhagavad Gita. You will find Bhagavad Gita absolutely talks about awareness. You read the Bhagavad Gita, it is only about awareness. Only and only about awareness. You read any scriptures, it's about awareness. So, I am telling you, instead of asking questions about these, it's not wrong to ask questions because this gives me an opportunity to explain why these questions are coming to you. I always encourage when we have these discussions, I never ever give you solutions on the spot. Oh, this is happening, that is happening. My mother-in-law is behaving this way, this one is reacting this way, I don't know what to do, I'm stuck. I never tell, pick up the broom and run behind your mother-in-law. Or I never say, shut the room and sit down. Or I never say, don't talk. I never say, go have a divorce. I never say, run away from home. I never give you such solutions because these solutions, if I give you, these are based on my experiences that not necessarily it's going to relate to your life. You might have a trust on me and you might believe and jump into something and be in a mess. It might become a mess because what I am telling you is from my experience. So what I try to always tell you is take decisions yourself. Every time you come with something, I help you put light more on that with my state of awareness. And I dissect and show you the same situations which you are able to see now. And why you are able to see? Because you are now seeing it through your intellect. Because your awareness has risen while I am talking on that. So this is a sort of training that's happening, where you are actually training your intellect to take that decision. So this again, these questions are good. But again, I'm telling you, here I'm not giving you a direct answer whether you should read or not to read. Same pattern of my answer. It's upon you. I can help you to decide, and this whole video is just about that. Books, according to me, for me, books have been wonderful, excellent. All my life I've read books. I've read lots of books. The books have not given me the complete knowledge, but it has given me linking knowledge to the higher knowledge. Books have always been a ladder for me, a good source of ladder for me. A good source of connection between the gaps. There have been a lot of gaps in my mind. Books have helped me with that. Books have been a stepping stone for me in my journey in many ways. I'm telling you, without books I wouldn't have been here. My journey spiritual transformation began with a book called The Power of Subconscious Mind, which I always say Dr. Joseph Murphy. Dr. Joseph Murphy wrote that. And this was 25 years back. When I read it, my whole life changed. Autobiography of Yogi was another major impact. Living with the Himalayan Master was another impact. Likewise, there are many other books also, which I have not mentioned, but there have been books. And I am telling you, after reading the book, my life is transformed. So I will never say books are not good. For me, it has been life-saving. It is everything. And let me tell you, books also are sources from the divine only. There is nothing undivine in this world, dear ones. There is nothing good or bad if you see that way. Everything is good for you. How you make it go with your life is important. Anything bad also is not really bad. I mean, you have bad experiences in life, but are they bad? They are teaching you so much. They are helping you evolve. If you don't have pain, if you don't have miseries in life, you will never ever evolve or never have evolved to what you are right now. It is because of sufferings that you've come here, my dear. Please understand that. So what does that mean? There is nothing undivine in that dark aspect also. We are becoming aware of that dark aspect also. It has given me so much. So same way, never go with one biased decision in the dual world. Always rise and treat it non-dually. Like, should I read, should I not read? If you stand still, if you read, if you go into higher awareness and see through non-duality accepts everything. Everything is a part of non-duality. Should I, should I not? Both are part of it. Both are important. Are you getting it? So, should I read? Yes. Should I not read? No. What should I do? Both are correct. What should I choose? Which is appropriate for me? Like I always tell, religions, paths, systems, cultures, faiths, communities, all have different systems, different ideology, but all are going there. That means all are valid. Which is correct for me? Whichever suits you is correct for you. Which is right here? All are right. You're getting? This is Advaita. But the moment you discriminate and say, this is not good, that is good, gone case. You are in duality. Phas gaye. Never have the habit of telling. There are people who say, oh, what? Bookish knowledge. Where do you get bookish knowledge? No, don't go for bookish knowledge. That is for you, my dear. Maybe you have evolved to that state where you don't need books. In your previous lifetimes, you must have read a lot of books. It is impossible that you have not read. Many people boast in this lifetime. I have not read a single scripture. I have not read a single book. Impossible. You have not read it in this physical dimension of this life. But in your whole journey, in your past life, you have read. And I always say, from the time you have left the source, and from the time till the time you are going to return back, it is one lifetime. You don't have multiple births. You don't have past lives actually. You have just left the source, and till you go back, maybe it is going to be 10 zillion years till you go back. But that is whole one lifetime. See, it is one life only. You are alive. Your soul is alive. Your soul is not dead. It's just passing through. But you take mid breaks. That is called life and death, life and death, life and death. You have thousands of different this. It's like a mala. All this are your life and death, each lifetime. But one mala, if you see, from the start till the end, till you go back there, one lifetime. So anybody boasting, I have not read books in this lifetime, bakwas, because lifetime is this. You are just saying, in this bead I have not read, but you have read somewhere before, because that's evolution. We all have degraded and we all are evolving. A saint also has come to a certain stage after a certain amount of evolution. That means that soul was degraded once upon a time. That soul has also taken a lot of tools. But in this lifetime, probably, that soul has reached to such a ripened state that it doesn't need anything. That doesn't mean it has not used anything. Are you getting it? This is higher awareness. But we are seeing things from higher awareness and telling, whoever it is, maybe even big spiritual giants. Doesn't mean it does, because life doesn't spare anybody. You're a giant or you're a petty person. This is all again play of duality. It all keeps on going. Somebody is high, somebody is low, somebody is great spiritual, somebody is a saint, and somebody is a petty criminal. But to the nature, to the Advaita, to that God, to the Parabrahma, a criminal is the same and a saint is the same. What does that mean? Because both it has taken in one stride. That is Advaita. Why this? So we might say, oh, the dirty world, it's got criminals, it has got crooks, it has got the saints and divine people. So we can't discard it. We can't discriminate, and we can't put something down and choose something higher. That is still a play of duality. Why? Because our Father, our Supreme Father, he doesn't have problems. The Shiva has both. Shiva has gods on one side, Shiva has Ganas on the other side, Rakshas Ganas. And he has no problem, absolutely. He is sitting there calm. He has no problem. The Ganas and the gods have no problem with Shiva. They have problems amongst each other, surely. They are in duality. They have not risen to that. They have not risen to the Shiva state, Shiva consciousness, which is seeing everything, which is accepting everything. Are you getting it? So these do's and don'ts, be very careful about it. When next time you get about do's and don'ts, don't go outside and seek. Because if you ask for more people, koi Puranas will come out. Koi ye kehta hai, koi wo kehta hai. And then your mind is again hodgepodge. Why? Because the intellect is lying dull, and mind you have triggered. Through the mind you are asking people. Through the mind you are connecting to people. Through the mind you are putting forth all your questions in all directions. And you get answers, thousands of variations, according to people's experiences, which is all correct to the Parabrahma. But according to them, it has worked for them, it might not work for you. So when you take collection of data, and now you have a lot of things in your hand, now you are super confused. Previously you had just one or two, you had a doubt, should I or should I not? Now, with the reviews and the answers that you got, you are in a mess because the mind is unable to balance and unable to make sense of out of this, because mind is always confused. It will always jump from here to there. Why this is happening? Because the intellect is unable to function. Intellect is dull. But if you raise your consciousness by shifting into awareness all the time, that means from the mind you're shifting into intellect all the time. If you stay there, Chidakasha Gita stays, live there, move there, he says. Move in the heart space, move in the Chidakasha, inside. Move in this, in the Brahmarandra, on top, Sahasrara, Agya, Sahasrara. Be in this, Bindu, Agya, Sahasrara, in this Chidakasha. If you are in this, the Chidakasha clearly explains your Buddhi, the power of discrimination will improvise, will increase. And then that will make decisions. So if you have so many inputs also, it will care a damn about the logic. It will not go and intersect and study each and everybody's. No. It will just raise into everything. Whatever is coming in, okay, it takes, mind keeps on taking the input, but जो करना है intellect को वो वही करेगा. What the intellect has to do, it will do that only. Intellect will correctly choose. So the intellect will tell you, right now, this is my intellect telling you that both are right. Should you read? Should you not read? Because there are times when I don't read also. There are times when I read a lot. There are times when I know what to read, and there are times when I choose not what to read. I have options. Because books also come to you. There also you are again in discrimination. Your mind will tell 100 things, but your intellect will choose the right book. So it is not based on what people are saying, or what somebody has suggested you, or what the book reviews say. It is what your heart and soul says. It is meant for you. It is meant for you. I'm telling you, there are books which has given me such experiences, profound experiences. I have tried so much times myself earlier to raise my Kundalini. It has never happened, but sometimes just reading a book, my Kundalini shot up. There are books, I don't want to name because it's all controversial. If I take the name of the books, then big controversy will start here. This guru, this master, that master, you are here, they are there, how is this, and all that. I don't want to get into that. I'm telling you, there were certain books that when I read, I used to be in trance for hours. Just in one para, stuck in it. Because the person who wrote it, some great saint who wrote it through their experience, and their consciousness is lingering in those words, its energy. If you know the knack of reading it in higher awareness, then you're tapping into that energy, that consciousness. I've told you this, I have had many times when I read Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's books. Ramakrishna on himself is one very good book. Ramakrishna on himself. These have given me profound experiences, which otherwise I sit and do, it will never happen. What does this mean? And nobody told me it will be there. And same book now, if I give it to you, why I don't take the names of those books which I'm telling, which you gave me those trance and all. It will never work, because I've tried this, telling my friends, this is some, and they took it and they say nothing happened. And I understood it's not that way. It's on what your perception is and what your level of consciousness is. So that means the intellect of mine knows what is best for me and highest for me, and it will choose rightly. The intellect of somebody else will choose something which is right for that person, provided they allow the intellect to work. They are surrendered to the intellect. Are you getting it? There are all these things. So you be the book, you be the reader is very true. The master, all the masters who explain this are in that state, remember. Are in that state where everything, all the Vedas are flowing through them. They are connected to that source. That is their experience which they are sharing. They are telling you, you have to be the book and you be the reader. Don't read anything else, because everything is there within. It is their experience. But not all have reached to that state. And so that doesn't mean that, you just discard books. It is an understanding very clearly saying that, okay, eventually you are not going to need so much of books. starting stage, you do need everything. You do need to experience. If I say, like the sannyasis, they say, you don't need a partner. You are self-sufficient. You are one with that divine. Everything is within you. The Shiva is there within you. Shakti is there within you. This is a concept which they follow, true for them, because they have reached that state. Now, how if I put that same example into somebody who's a grahastha and tell, no, why you want to marry? Shiva and Shakti are there within you only. Masculine and feminine are there within you. So everything can happen, the union can happen from within, and all blah 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 blah. Bookish knowledge. It might not work for you. And there is another path of the grahastha who follow something else. So which is correct? Both are correct. For the grahastha, this is beautiful because this suits them. For the sannyasa, that is beautiful but because they don't need all this, they have evolved beyond all this. So what are we trying to see as certain? It clearly shows that, I'm relating with the books only. Marriage is not needed, one person is enough. But here it is needed. Yes, it's an evolution. If it is needed in your evolution, you have not reached that complete detached or completely above the vasana states or completely above dependency states. It's more of that. And completely of being secured in that one, being one with the one. Then you don't need that because you have evolved to that state. But the person who has not yet evolved, he needs it. So he goes through that state, and then he will also rise to that state. Like even in the grahastha, if you see, there are 4 from brahmacharya. It begins with the brahmacharya, and then it passes on to the grahastha, and then it goes to the sannyasa and vanaprastha. That also is evolution. One is left. So that being together also is not forever and ever. It is for a certain stage, till you evolve, till you ripen to that state of sannyas. There is sannyas in this. What I am trying to say is everything is valid. It is an evolutionary process. You don't know which part you are. So you can't discard, no, I cannot be a grahastha, or I cannot be a brahmachari, or I cannot have. No, it is all part and parcel. You see whichever is relating to you, do that. Same way, when you're reading books, you might need a lot of books in the start. But once awareness happens and once that divine wisdom from within starts pouring out, the books lessen little by little, everything lessens out. And then your dependency on the book reduces. Then you come to a state when you can relate and say, oh, books were needed, but today I don't need it. You might say, what a waste of time that was. Simply I was reading all those books. No. Because you were reading only, you reached the state. So you look back and give a mature expression to the world, saying that, yes, when I needed it, I used it. When I did not needed it, I simply let go of it. This is evolution. So those who need books, please use it. Without guilt and fear and doubt. Irrespective of who says what and all that. It is said, but it is said with a higher purpose. So when the masters say, you be the book, you be the reader, it is with this meaning. It is not saying immediately drop all the books, stop studying, don't go to universities, shut yourself in the room and go to your dhyan. Is that possible? You be the book, you be the reader is not just for your spiritual wisdom. You be the book, you be the reader. If it is really true in you right now, then you should discard all your textbooks. You don't need colleges also. You don't need education. Everything is there within. You read it from within only, no? Is that possible? It's not possible, my dear. Let's be practical. But there is a possibility in the future as you transcend these needs. That is how it should be seen maturely. And to tell you very frankly, because sometimes people comment on my talking about Vedas and Upanishads, and I talk more about these and higher like Bhagavad Gita or the Ramayana or this Vasishta Yoga or Ashtavakra Gita, Chidakasha Gita. When I'm talking about Chidakasha, you don't need all that. It's all inside. Try it. It is inside. You will not get it inside. You have to develop that. Consciousness has to develop. Please understand that. And to tell you very frankly and honestly, I'm telling you, I have not read the Vedas at all. I have have not read the Upanishads completely. I have not read the Bible completely. No Quran. I have never even read the Chidakasha Gita completely, let me tell you. This is the first time that I am reading it while I am translating it and writing commentaries on it step by step. I used to previously read from here and there, pick and read. I have never read it completely. Are you getting that? So I am doing it step by step as it is going. So I don't need to read it by heart it 10 times and then write something on it. No. If I have developed my awareness, then you give me any text in front of me. I'll keep it, I'll scan it, and then I'll go through what I am perceiving. But I still use these books. I cannot be arrogant, I cannot be prideful and say, I don't need all these books. Everything is there within me. It is there, definitely it's there. But I can't discard this system also. The Vedas and Upanishads they say are the voice of God. How can you discard these things and say this is not? So even if it is not, maybe if I transcend everything, I don't need anything at all, then I might talk on this, but I can never say that time also. That you don't need it. I don't need it, that's fine. I don't use it. But we should never tell the world, you don't do it, just because I don't do it. Are you getting this very clear? So all these opinion makers, they have opinions. People have opinions about something. Because when I'm writing the Chaga, they have opinions. They say, oh, what big pride about writing, and what it's coming, everything is from the book. It's not from the book. Bookish knowledge se kuch nahi hota. You have to do practice, my dear. After practice only you are able to read the books. Without practice, without your spiritual practice, you cannot read mystical books. You cannot read mystics. You cannot understand the mystics, I'm telling you. You need to have practice. So that is your adhara. That is your foundation. Your practices are your adhara. The grace is the adhara of the master and the masters. That works. And these books are beautiful gems, which we use it for people, so many tools, and you explain it to them, because these are small textbooks for us. So please guys, use these tools, whatever. If it is needed, use this tool. Don't discard this because somebody has told and be deprived, foolishly deprived. Are you getting it? So not just the book things, anything, veg, non-veg, any such question next time it comes, practice awareness and try to find the solution yourself. When you're not getting it still, ask, no problem. You ask me questions, I will give you suggestions in this manner only. Never do it, don't do it. I've never done that, I will never do it again also. So this is what I'm trying to share. This wisdom I'm trying to share, that it is possible for you to do it. Why do I say don't depend on people to give you gyan, to teach you something, to teach you your inner science? You don't need people actually. For long. Right now you need, you don't, because I have told so many times, don't even be dependent on me. Don't be stuck and don't be obsessed with these, and because there are times when sometimes you listen to these videos, like my long sessions, live sessions, people go into that so deep and then they get stuck to it. I warn people, don't do that. And people start saying, this is happening. I don't encourage it also. I do some things which offends them so badly that, the fans also run away. So many fans have run away, Every 2 months, every 3 months, there are fans, new fans. And every time I know it's a cycle, okay, it's coming. And somebody is too overwhelmingly happy about it and excited. And I know this excitement will be opposite in some other day. It's a duality word. If you're living in duality, you're going to go opposite immediately or later. So I am not very impressed or happy or very motivated. I am not motivated by people's this. I am more concerned about how this is going to stabilize, how this is going to help you. If it is going to help you, it's fine. If it is not going to help you, it's another nonsense. Even if I'm not going to help you, I'm another nonsense for you. I'm telling you openly. Anybody who's not helping, it's just a nonsense. It's not working. What is working? Your buddhi will work. So instead of turning outward all the time and depending so much on others, becoming a slave always to systems and books and even the books and cultures and all that thing, and outside teachers or outside mentors like me, asking them and depending on them, waiting for them to give this. I have told many times, don't stick to this, because sometimes when I get long mails, I don't go into all this, go to practice and then say, please allow me to. Right now I'm feeling so comfortable, I'm feeling so many things are being answered, this is being so helpful. So even if you say don't, we are going to listen, because they say we are going to listen till I am satisfied with it, I am contented and I am relieved of that. I say, yeah, that's the right approach. Listen, but don't, this is my forever, this is my forever mentor. No, then you're stuck. Your duality mein gaya. You will always need some mentor. You will become handicapped. You will never learn to stand for yourself. You will never learn. Stand for yourself means you will never allow the buddhi to work for you. Give buddhi the opportunity, not others' buddhi to work for you. This is becoming self-reliant, self-dependent. And that is the reason I keep on telling. Keep moving. Listen, understand. Use all the systems that you can. Whatever. Not everything. See again. More doesn't mean you're going to have more. Choose wisely. Allow your intellect to choose what is right for you. Whichever knowledge, whichever source is coming to you. And what will tell you, if you sit in awareness and connect to that, your heart will tell you whether I should listen to this, whether I should read this, whether I should study this, whether I should look into that, or should I hear this, should I feel this. All these things, your buddhi, your heart space will answer. So with that, you will keep on getting guidance. You take this, you take that. Everybody is good. That is why I always say, all the masters are good, all the paths are good, all religions are, all books are good, everybody is good, all the mentors are good. But sadly, unfortunately, we live in a time where there is everything in duality, because when there is duality, there is competition. There is you better, I better. I am better, you are no better. So, listen to me, don't listen to him. Or listen to that, don't listen to this. Read this, don't read that. Eat this, don't eat this. All nonsense. So hope, dear ones, this answers a lot of confusions in your mind. It's all in your awareness. But for awareness, practice. Practice to get your awareness. Once you have that practice of awareness, and when you experience things on your own, and when that gives you confidence, and then slowly you start shifting away from all this attachments and dependencies and all that, and then you take your own things in your stride. And then you don't need to ask, should I read, should I not read? Should I eat, should I not eat? Should I live, should I not live? Okay guys, hope this helps you a lot. Lots of praise, lots of divine love and light to all of you. Stay blessed.